In Sec 3, we talk about risk treatment verification, and Sec 4, we talk about risk treatment validation. So, does the normal verification and validation meaning apply here? In which case, it the risk treatment validation is not considered the software requirement level, or should we consider it in a different way?
Well, I mean, if we look at the difference between the verification and validation, in one of the previous episodes, we have also, tried to discuss what is the difference between verification and validation in different, let's say, views. So normally the verification, the standard definition is you are verifying your product or whatever it is, software or something, against the requirement. The validation is more in the user environment or pretty close to the user intended environment, right? So this is where the Sec 3 is more about, formal verification with respect to your requirement or detailed design or architecture. How does your software behave, or whether your cybersecurity related features are properly implemented or not, in that direction, including the formal reviews, everything which comes in. On the other hand, if I look at the risk treatment validation, as per the process itself, it talks clearly about the integrated system. Yeah, so it is not too generic, without touching any of the abstraction levels. So it clearly talks about verifying the integrated systems. And also, when we know that when we are talking about the system level, we are pretty close to the user environment. I mean, even may not be in the user environment, because at the end of the day, of course, we also have to, or somebody has to test in the vehicle. I think that is the intended environment. But this particular validation is pretty close to the intended environment when you do with a heel or penetration testing on some other kind of a hardware setup. So this is where, in my opinion, there is a bit of a difference, which we can clearly see between the Sec 3 and the Sec 4. Having said that, um, how do we use the term verification and validation? That is not, black and white across the standards, in my opinion. Yeah, because I told the initial definition what we all have learned. Yeah, even during the days when we studied about this kind of a thing in our colleges, that is the kind of a definition we had, what is verification and validation. But now if you see how these terms have been used in different standard, including ASPICE, ISO 26262 or ISO 21434, it's not that black and white, in my opinion. So this is where there are so many other aspects which are coming into the picture. So based on that, we have to build our understanding what exactly is meant by this particular process and what exactly is being asked for.